barn owl. The bread absorbed the ale like a sponge with trust issues. It softened, swelled, and transformed from a jawbreaker into something vaguely edible. Was it tasty? In the right light, with a good mood and low expectations? Yes, kind of. It was warm, bready, and carried the gentle bitterness of fermented grain, which is to say it didn't actively offend the palate. This snack was especially popular with the working class, people who didn't have time for multiple courses or cutlery, but still needed calories that wouldn't fight back. Bread soaked in ale was quick, hearty, and just messy enough to feel like a real break from your daily chores. Sometimes people added extras, a sprinkle of herbs, a bit of cheese, or a fried egg if the hen felt generous that morning. On feast days, you might even get sops soaked in spiced ale, which basically meant the cook found a nutmeg shaving somewhere and got inspired. And like many medieval dishes, this one had dual purpose. Not only was it food, it was also a way to stretch ingredients. Bread too stale to chew? Just soak it. Ale starting to turn? Pour it on bread and pretend it's intentional. Waste was for amateurs. The only downside? It didn't travel well. Once soaked, the bread turned into a kind of sloshy porridge cube. Eat it quickly, or risk ending up with a mushy sponge in your bowl and a 1,000-year-old food metaphor for disappointment. Still, for a chilly evening by the fire, nothing beat a slice of ale bread mush and a moment of peace. If you've ever looked at a slice of bread and thought, this would be better submerged in alcohol, congratulations. You and the medieval upper class have something in common. Sops in wine were one of the more refined, red, bizarrely specific snacks of the Middle Ages. A dessert, technically, or perhaps an experience. The concept was simple. Take bread, ideally toasted or at least not completely stale, and dunk it in wine. Not just any wine, of course. Usually mulled, sweetened or spiced wine. Something warm, fragrant, and barely hiding the fact that it had been sitting in a clay jug since last harvest. Once the bread was sufficiently drenched, it was served as a soft, spoonable delicacy. Nobles called it elegant. Everyone else quietly wondered if the cook had just run out of ideas. This was not finger food. It was the kind of dish you ate with a spoon very slowly, while pretending to be interested in lute music. It appeared at banquets, late-night feasts, and the kind of awkward dinner where no one wanted to talk about politics, so instead they passed around soggy toast in a goblet. When done well, sops in wine were warm, comforting, and mildly intoxicating, a gentle end to a heavy meal. The wine added richness, the bread gave